Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. So we've got a lot of amazing questions to jump into today, so let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. This first question today comes from GTA Princess, who says, why do you think Rockstar didn't give us a GTA Valentines DLC this year? So a lot of people were asking that question, and I think that there's two reasons for this. Number one is that it doesn't follow Rockstar's pattern. So we got a Valentine's DLC in 2014 and 2016. However, we didn't get one in 2015, and because this year's 2017, I figured that was kind of the same thing. Rockstar just didn't have plans for it. And number two, and probably the more likely answer, is because it's just 2017 and it's a couple years after the release of Grand Theft Auto Online. And I'd imagine that the DLCs we're going to be getting this year are going to be a little bit more selective, and because of that, Rockstar probably want to focus them on like actual new content and themes rather than just exploring a new holiday update. So if I had to take a guess, that's probably it, because I know we're going to be expecting DLCs this year in 2017. That's actually something Rockstar confirmed. I just don't think we're going to be getting as many, especially considering the team that's working on Grand Theft Auto Online has been cut by about 75%. We know there's a team working on GTA 6, another game, probably Red Dead Redemption 2, and then what's left is probably working on Grand Theft Auto Online still. So they got about a fourth of the team, which means they've got to kind of consolidate their resources to pick and choose wisely the updates they want to provide for us. And speaking of DLCs, we have another question from Blake, who says, what do you think the next DLC will be for Grand Theft Auto Online? So I don't exactly have an idea of what the next theme is going to be. There haven't been any leaks. There haven't been any rogue employees that have come out and said, you know, this is what it's looking like it's going to be geared towards. We have an idea of the themes they likely won't cover just based off of previous DLCs, meaning it's unlikely that they would do the same thing over and over and over again. But what I do think I know is the release date, and that's going to be right after the transfer thing ends in Grand Theft Auto Online, which is March 6th, 2017. So on that date, that's when Rockstar is stopping the transfers. The day after that would be March 7th, so that might be the perfect time for an update, or maybe the Tuesday after that, March 14th, would be a good time for an update as well. Now, kind of on the idea of two-part updates, I got a question from Freddy X, who says, if Rockstar was to do a part 2 to earlier DLCs, which one would you like to see the most? Okay, so this one is really interesting because this is kind of a cool question. We've gotten 2 Lowrider DLCs. We've gotten multiple like criminal enterprise style DLCs, so I'm going to exclude those. I'm thinking he's talking about like business update or high life update or I'm not a hipster or beach bum. Probably the 2 I'd like to see the most would be maybe a rendition of the High Life update. If it included like mansions and pets and things like that, that would be super cool, and maybe like the opening of the stock market. Beach Bum Part 2 might be interesting to kind of see what Rockstar could do. Maybe they do some crazy additions to the yacht or something along those lines, or maybe they do other upgrades to more like beach bummy style houses, like houses on the beach and whatnot. That could actually be pretty cool. I'm trying to think of like some of the other updates, but most of them, believe it or not, have already gotten like part 2s, even if they don't specifically stay part 2s like Ill-Gotten Gains did. So I think I've got 3. It would be the High Life update based off of getting like mansions and whatnot, the I'm Not a Hipster update because I thought the cars were incredible, and then the Beach Bum update too based off of the potential that is in that. That's a really good question. Hadn't actually thought about that, so that's a really good one, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section about that as well. All right, moving on, that's a good segue into our next question, which comes from James Smith, who says, will there ever be another Lowrider DLC because it's been ages since the last one? Yeah, we are kind of approaching at least a year since we got Lowriders Customs Classics, and honestly, I'm not sure. That would mean Rockstar would be doing a part 3 of this DLC, and I'm not sure the community would be up for that. People are kind of split on Lowriders. They either really like it or they really don't. Now, I think there are plenty of potential Lowrider vehicles in the game. I mean, if you just look at like the Mañana, the Picador, you could look at even other style vehicles like SUVs, like the Cavalcade, which is based off the Escalade. That would be pretty awesome as well. But I'm not sure Rockstar would want to dip their toe back into that category again, just because of the possible backlash they might receive doing 3 parts of Lowriders. And it definitely seems as if they've moved on to the other capabilities of Benny's, which is more like race race cars and crazy tuner style vehicles as well. So would it be awesome? Yes, but I just don't think the community would love it, and I think there'd be too much backlash as well. Moving on, we have a question from Michael who says, do you think Rockstar is going to add a new fastest car in future updates? So there's always a possibility, Michael, but just because there's a new update that comes out doesn't mean that Rockstar has to add a new fastest vehicle, because the current fastest supercar, I believe, is the RE7B. And that came out in Cunning Stunts, and we've had many updates since then. Bikers, I didn't suspect we would get the fastest car in Bikers, maybe in Import-Export. And there were many supercars and many sports cars that don't even come close to competing with the RE7B. So there's always a possibility. The only thing with that is we got a lot of super and sports cars in Import-Export. So I wonder if Rockstar is going to kind of take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit and start to include some other vehicles in the game, like muscle cars, sports classics, off-road, etc. That, in my opinion, could be pretty cool. Up next, we got a question from Elite Saber Sir, who says, do you see a chance of Rockstar ever adding something that costs more than the yachts? So I don't know. Are the yachts still the most expensive thing in the game? I think like the most fully upgraded office with a full garage and full upgrades at like the Maze Bank Tower, that might end up costing more. I'm really not too sure. I haven't compared the two, but needless to say, the yacht is like one of the most expensive things you can buy in the game. I'm not sure. The only other thing I could see Rockstar adding is something like mansions, where they literally cost like $10 or $12 million and you own something the size of like the Playboy Mansion. That's about the only thing I could see. And if it had some crazy features as well, like pets on the inside, exclusive mini games, etc. So who knows? That would be a huge DLC to see this late in the life cycle of Grand Theft Auto Online. But that's about honestly the only thing I could see. I don't think you're going to see another example of a golden jet or a golden helicopter. I don't think you're going to see a vehicle getting that pricey. So it would have to be like a piece of property, because other than that, I have no clue what Rockstar could possibly make $10 million in this game, unless it like opened up all the interiors and was like a giant key to the city or something like that. That's about, like I said, the only thing I can think of. So my guess is I doubt it, but who knows? It's Rockstar and they can do whatever they want. Speaking of Rockstar doing whatever they want, our next question comes from Wolfgang, who says, what do you think Rockstar has planned to show off at E3 this year? Do you think we could see anything GTA related? So there's obviously no confirmation that Rockstar is at E3. We do know Take-Two Interactive is going to be at E3 and Rockstar falls under that umbrella. If Rockstar is going to be there, it's likely that something about Red Dead Redemption 2 is shown off, although there is a chance that GTA something could be related. I mean, who knows? Maybe like they want to jumpstart the GTA 6 hype train. I have no idea. That would certainly be the stage to do it. E3 is like the biggest gaming event in the world. So what are my chances are that Rockstar is there? Probably like 25%. If they are there, is something GTA related going to come out? I'm going to say like a 1% chance. I think it's really, really slim, just because right now their focus is probably all on Red Dead Redemption 2. Up next, we got a very interesting question from Ryan, who says, do you think that instead of Grand Theft Auto Online ending, it will cross over into the next GTA? So what Ryan is basically saying is that when the next GTA game comes out, let's say GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto Online will be there and your character will be there as well, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. I don't think so. Just take a look at other games like Call of Duty that have multiplayers. When you go to the next Call of Duty game, your stats and your characters and stuff, it isn't carried over, because there's going to be different vehicles. It's going to be a different environment, most likely, with different clothing. That would just be way, way too complex for Rockstar to do. So whenever that day does come, which is probably like so far down the line, and that's just like way down the line, I think it'll be a new character. It'll be a new game. You'll have to restart from scratch, which will make some people upset, because I know people have invested a lot of time in Grand Theft Auto Online. But at the same rate, you can't expect Rockstar to just allow you to pick up from level 400 and keep rocking and rolling. So no, I think it will reset just like most other games do. All right, moving on. Our next question comes from Omer, who says, do you think that the bonuses and the money players receiving from Rockstar means we're going to be getting a DLC soon? So that kind of ties on to what I talked about earlier. However, he's talking about like Grand Theft Auto Online being broken, and it happened to me again. I literally got the $250,000 again. So I've received it 4 times, which means I've gotten $1 million free from Rockstar. So honestly, I don't know if it means a DLC is coming soon, or if Rockstar is, like I said, that forgetful grandparent that's just sending the same birthday check over and over and over again. That kind of seems like what it is. I've had friends that have gotten it 7, 6, 8 times, like a crazy amount of times. I've gotten it 4 times, and I've had other people that aren't getting anything. So could it mean a big DLC is coming soon? Yeah, absolutely. And if so, then Rockstar is probably like saying, okay, guys, start saving up. This could be expensive. But honestly, I just think it's GTA being broken and or Rockstar not knowing how to determine who's gotten the money versus who hasn't. All right, and our final question today comes from Nick, who says, if you could change the timeline in GTA 5 story mode, what would you change? So I wouldn't change anything about the timeline, but I would like to know what happens after North Yankton a little bit more. And I guess this is where a story mode DLC could have solved this, but after North Yankton, we don't really know what happens other than a few hints and clues we pick up on during the game. So, for example, Michael is shot, but obviously he's got the bulletproof vest on. What happens to him? Does he just like go straight to Los Santos and sit by his pool for 10 years? What happens to Trevor? We see him, run off into the field. Does he have to deal with escaping the cops? What exactly happens here? I would love to see that. I'd love to see the development of Franklin too. That could be super cool. So I wouldn't really change anything about the timeline. I just wish the gap was filled a little bit more rather than just seeing Michael in Dr. Freelander's office. But anyways, those are all the questions that we're going to be going over in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you want to be possibly featured in the next one, all you got to do is go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, use the hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next video. If you did go on to enjoy this one, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.